Hi, this is Saksham and welcome to this brand new video in which we are going to learn that how you can run your first virtual machine on Google Cloud Platform. And trust me, it's super easy to do that. If you can follow along with me for next 10 minutes, you'll be able to do that too. And you don't need any prior experience to do that. So let's jump in and let's run our first virtual machine on GCP. So in order to run your first virtual machine in GCP, you need to open this URL that says cloud.google.com, and a page something like this will pop up in front of you. After this, okay, now this also reminds me about Google Cloud Next. I had an amazing time at Google Cloud Next. We had a great roundtable discussion with a lot of senior authorities that are already working with Google Cloud, and we really got very amazing insight that how cloud is expanding very rapidly and demand is getting crazier day by day. So here are a few snippets that I really enjoyed. So it's really worth learning this technology. Okay, without any further ado, after you have popped into this page, you need to click on console, and you can use any Google account in order to open this console. And this will take you to this page that will be the dashboard of Google Cloud Platform. After you are coming here, and then I would like to recommend you to go to the dashboard. So click on dashboard, and then you'll see that this is the dashboard, current dashboard, where you can actually monitor and track a lot of things, that what are the instances that are already running, what are the virtual machines that are already running. So you can track all of that in here. But in order to start your first virtual instance, you need the compute engine. Now this is a service by Google Cloud Platform. Now compute engine is responsible for allocating your machine depending upon the type of RAM you choose, the hard disk you choose. So you can configure all of that with a service given by Google that is called as Google Compute Engine. So here, after you land up on this page of compute engine, you can see you have VM instances, instance templates. You can make the pre-built templates here if you want to run the virtual machines with the same settings. And there are a lot more modules here that depends on storage, instance group, VM manager, and a lot out there. But in order to launch your first VM instance very quickly, you need to click on create instance. Once you are done clicking on create instance, you'll see that something like this will pop up. Now we can name this instance, like I'm giving the demo for you people. So I can name it as YouTube demo so that I can recognize it later on that this instance was made because I wanted to show demo to you people. Apart from this, you can also choose the region, but you can see that these regions are very economical, and there are a lot of places where there are low CO2 regions as well. But right now I'm staying in India, so it is also recommended to choose the region that are nearest to you. So Delhi region is still going on, but I prefer Mumbai because they also have the GPU options available right now at the time of when I'm making this video. And you can see that they'll only charge $30.58 per month for running this instance. We can make it more cheaper, we can make it more economical, you can say, but for that you need to go ahead with a lot of more machine configurations. Now before we jump on machine configurations, there is also labels. Now this is also really important because if you'll be working on a lot of more instances, then you need to know that why you actually made this instance. So in order to see that, suppose this is an instance that is going to be used by my developers team, and dev team for, let's say, some XYZ project, right? So like this, you can add a label, you can click on save, and you can see that the label is right here. So imagine if some of your marketing team or any of your HR team or any other team is trying to work in any of your instance, then you can name it, label it, and you can allot it accordingly. Apart from this, we have this machine configuration, which is really very important. So you have E2 instance in here as the series into the general purpose. So you have like 4 modules in here. The first one is the most economical and the optimized one. So this is the E2 series, and you can go for N2, N2D, and these are the different series as well, the first generations and these things as well. Next up, you have compute optimized that are there for the high performance and for the compute intensive workloads. If you want a little bit more higher level of machine, then you can go for memory optimized. So they are for the large memory machines and for memory intensive workloads. And then you have GPU, and then GPU are the super powerful machines out there. So you have NVIDIA options, a lot of NVIDIA options, and they have like 80 GB of GPU on NVIDIA, but they are costing pretty high, right? So though they are economical, but yes, depending upon what they are providing to you, they are good to go. So in this lecture, we are going to go for the general purpose because we are going to use it as a beginner, and we would also like to cut this down a little bit. So this is what we have selected, and then you have more services. We are going to talk about containers into the upcoming videos, but then you have boot disk in here. So into the boot disk, you can do a lot of more settings, like you can allot the size, and you can see that which operating system you actually wants to run. So you have a lot of more options right here. Like you have CentOS here, you have Debian, Fedora, OpenSUSE, Red Hat. You have a lot of SQL Server on Windows Server. You have Ubuntu, Ubuntu Pro. So these are the different machines. So let's take Ubuntu in this case, not Ubuntu Pro. Let's go for the simple Ubuntu. And in Ubuntu, let's get the latest any long-term. Okay, so you have LTS 18.4. So I would like to go for this like 64-bit. And then you can compare the disk type as well. You have a lot of disk options as well in here. So you have the optimized disk, and then you have balanced, and then you have SSDs that are more powerful definitely. And then you have extreme level of disk as well. But I would like to go for the simple balanced persistent disk, right? Okay, so next up, you can allot the GBs as a size, like you can go for 10 GB, 20 GB, whatever suits to you. So I don't want any trouble, so I would like to go for 20 GB. Okay, so next up you have deletion rule. So keep boot disk after you delete the instance, or you want to delete the complete boot disk. So I would like to go for the delete boot disk because I'm going to delete this instance after I'll be done making this video. And then you can go for a lot of encryption methodologies as well. And then you have also snapshot schedule as well. That is for the backup and the recovery. So these are the settings that I wanted to do in here. I'm going to click on select. And then you can see that a little bit of price is increased because I've increased the size in GBs. So I changed the size from 10 GB to 20 GB. So this is why it must have been increased in here. Next up, let's go ahead and go ahead and explore more options. So you can see that you also have the firewall settings in here, right? So into the firewall settings, you can go for like allow HTTP traffic, because if you are looking to host any of the web application or any Apache application, and if you want that to be available for the traffic coming from internet, you're gonna have to enable allow HTTP traffic. And we can actually make it more cheaper, right? So you have the machine type in here with the 4 GB of RAM. I can also allow 1 GB of RAM, and it will be more economical. Now you can see that when I change it to 1 GB, you can see it is costing me for $9.74, which is the most economical solution in here. And there is one more thing before we click on go. You need to talk about on-host maintenance. Now, migrate is recommended, but you can also go for terminate, but they are not supported by E2 instances, which is why you would like to go for migrate VM instance. But I hope you don't get any kind of error when you do that. But yes, that is recommended, and it is not allowing any of the other options. So let's go ahead and let's try this. So when I click on create, now it will work on creating this virtual machine, and you'll be able to access this right from your browser, which is going to be quite happening out there. Okay, now you can see that onto the top right, you have one notification that you have successfully created VM instance as YouTube demo. And now you can see that our machine is up and live. Now there are a lot more things. Let's first know that how we can take control over it. So we need to take control over this machine with the help of SSH. Now SSH is a super shell by which you can get the access of any other computer in your terminal out there. Great thing about this is that they are actually providing this terminal inside your browser again. So let's go ahead and launch our first SSH instance right here. So now you can see that you have SSH in browser right here, which means you'll get the super shell of the system that is being hosted by you over the cloud, and you can access that pretty much. You can do everything in that with the help of this SSH shell actually. So it is establishing the connection, and you can see that our first Linux machine, or you can say our first Ubuntu machine, is right here. It says welcome to Ubuntu. Now this is officially your first instance in Google Cloud Platform. You can go ahead and you can fire the commands as you wish, like you can just check out your IP address, or you can just go ahead with some regular Linux command, Ubuntu commands. And the first thing that I would like to recommend you, that if you're running your Ubuntu machine or the Linux machine right here, then just go ahead and update and upgrade it. It would be great for you. And apart from this, you can do a lot of more things, like you can check out the billing report. So here you can actually go ahead and monitor a lot of your instances that are already being running out there. You can go ahead and activate the alerts, and you can do a lot of more things. But we are going to do a lot of more things into my upcoming videos if you're really liking these kind of videos. And if you want me to add some of the more videos in this series, go ahead and hit the thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe my channel and share it to your friends. But that's it for this video. I'll see you really soon with another video.